If you're wondering what the hell I'm doing back at Lake Verde, well, I completely forgot that there were TMs to grab at each of the lakes, so I thought I'd start this video with that. Even though I'm not planning on using those TMs, which are, well, we got Fire Blast here, and Thunder and Blizzard are at the other two lakes. Even though I'm not going to be using them, I think it's still interesting enough that I should show you this just in case you know that you want to actually use those TMs. As I recall, though, you can buy them at the Veilstone department store, so it's no big deal. But otherwise, if you want free ones, well, that's the way to go. And besides, I think it's a fairly good opportunity to give Giratina some much-needed experience, because if the encounter with that Luxray in the last video showed us anything, it's that it's gonna need a lot of levels if it wants to be able to kill really high-end stuff, like, for example, Volkner's team. So, obviously, I'm betting on Blizzard being here, though it would be fun if they just throw us a curveball and said, nope, it's Thunder that's here, Blizzard is actually at Lake Valor. But, no, I think it's Blizzard that's here, because it would really make no sense if, you know, the Blizzard TM wasn't in a snowy area. But anyway, I just wanted to point out, today is my 27th birthday, and with each birthday comes the question, why am I still playing this? Now, I'm not gonna give you that rant again, because I already did in a previous LP. But yeah, not only is it my 27th birthday here, but it's also the 15th anniversary of the Japanese release of Pokemon Red and Green. So that's right, this is the 15th anniversary of this franchise. And it's funny that, you know, this franchise began on my 12th birthday, so I guess you can call it fate that I would become such a huge Pokemon nut. And I'm talking about the games here, obviously not the anime because it's trash, and the manga because, as far as I know, it's Japan only. Anyway, moving on, the next TSG Marathon is coming up fast. It's in 2 weeks, in fact. And it's going to be especially interesting because it's the classic Pokemon Marathon. Originally, it was supposed to be the marathon that would feature Black and White, but unfortunately, all sorts of constraints forced them to change their plans. That marathon has been moved to December, and instead, they're doing a Pokemon Marathon featuring the old games, Generation 1 and 2, that were not featured in the first two Pokemon Marathons. So they're going to be playing Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, and Silver. No Crystal, because, well, they're probably thinking that 5 players is going to be good enough for getting them all. And it probably is, but unlike the other two marathons, there's going to be a little twist this time around. Because in the previous marathons, for example, if they catch a Pidgey, then evolve it twice. Okay, so Blizzard was here after all, so now that only leaves Lake Valor, which is on the way back to Route 222. So let's get going, shall we? But yeah, in the first two marathons, when they'd catch a Pidgey, then evolve it all the way to Pidgeot, it would count as getting Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. Not in this one, however. Now they gotta get a Pidgey, they gotta get another one and evolve it into Pidgeotto, or finding a Pidgeotto in the wild, whatever works, and finding another one and evolving it all the way to Pidgeot. And that's just an example, because they're going to be doing this for every single evolutionary line. So with all those restrictions in place, will our Valiant players be able to pull it off? Maybe. I don't know. Technical difficulties, for example, can happen at any time, but still, I'm hoping they can do it. It would be really awesome. I'm sort of hoping we don't get another photo finish like what happened last time, so that this time there's no controversy over, you know, the marathon starting late or anything like that. So we got our Thunder TM, so we're going to head back to Route 222, and believe it or not, even in that route, there are some items that I missed in the last video, so I'm going to go for those as an excuse to give Giratina more experience, and after that, I'll move on to the trainers that I haven't fought yet in the last video. But yeah, about that restriction I was talking about earlier, I don't think they're going to have that in place for the December marathon, because 647 Pokemon is going to be a lot to catch, and I don't think they can afford to do that kind of mass breeding and catching the same Pokemon over and over and stuff, because 647 is a lot. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing the marathon, it's going to be at thespeedgamers.com. It's going to start on Friday, March 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern, so mark your calendars. And this time they're going to be raising funds for the ALS Association, which is a non-profit organization that's fighting Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, I don't remember by heart what ALS means, but it's an abbreviation for the scientific name of Lou Gehrig's disease. So, if you got a few dollars to spare, I strongly recommend donating a few of them. You're helping two great causes in the process. You're helping the fight against Lou Gehrig's disease, and you're also showing your support to the Speed Gamers, who spend lots of time, effort, and even money organizing those things. It may not look like much, but organizing those things is really crazy. Well, not that I have any idea how crazy it actually is, but I'm taking their word for it. It's not easy at all. So donating to the charities they supports them as well, by extension. And am I forgetting something? I don't think so. And by the way, there's a PP up right here, which is one of the items that I forgot on my last trip here. Normally I don't care that much for hidden items, but PP ups are so rare that they're always useful. And speaking of which, I gave Giratina 3 of those for Shadow Force, seeing how it's its strongest move, and 5 PP isn't quite enough to go around, so I went ahead and made it 8, especially since Giratina is going to be part of my post-game team as well. But yeah, I don't think I'm forgetting anything about the marathon, but if I realize I did, then I still have 2 weeks left to mention it, so it's not like it's a really big problem. And, well, you just saw that there's a square of grass missing in this patch of grass, and I'm really stupid for not going for it in the last video. I don't know if it's because I just didn't look for it hard enough, or if I just didn't feel like it. I don't think so, because usually I'm enough of a completionist that if I see it, I'm going to go for it, but I don't know. Maybe that was just me being stupid. Which wouldn't be surprising at all given what happened last time when I forgot to bring along B-Barrel when I thought I would only need Rock Smash, but in the end I needed Cut as well. But anyway, can we get the item that's over there? What is it? An Ultra Ball. All this for an Ultra Ball I probably won't use ever, because I can't think of a reason to use these when we got Dusk Balls around. Other than Dusk Balls, by the way, there are a few balls that are really popular, the Quick Balls and the Timer Balls, but I don't like them quite as much, because the Quick Ball, well, first you gotta weaken your target and put it to sleep to get the most out of your ball, and the best time to use those balls is in the first 5 turns, so you won't get much of a chance to throw many of them after you've weakened your target. Whereas the Timer Ball is another popular one where the catch rate increases the longer the battle goes on. But I'm not a fan of this ball personally, for the simple reason that I don't want to have to wait an eternity for the ball to become better than an Ultra or a Dusk Ball. So that's why I'm just going with Dusk Balls, which are consistently good. No matter when you are in the battle, no matter where you are, if you're at night or in a cave, then you're going to get an excellent catch rate. So there's really no reason to use anything else at all. And if for some reason I'm forced to catch something in the day while I'm not in a cave, then I'm going to go with an Ultra anyway. But as for this building, which was where we ended the video last time, as you can see, there are lots of Pikachus in there. There are 6 to be precise. Now, what you want to do is talk to all of them. Why? Because, well, you're going to see in a second here. Because one of them is actually a trainer in disguise. And his Pikachu really sucks, or her. Is it a girl? Yeah, it's a girl. So Yeah, really crappy Pikachu impression here. I mean, it's not like it's that difficult. Pika, Pika, Pikachu! But, no, yeah, my Pikachu impression sucks too. But besides, well, all she's got are Pikachus, of course, and, well, I may not have been able to kill a Luxray in one hit last time, but I think I'm able to take on a Pikachu, thank you very much. Anyway, after this battle, the only trainers that are going to be left, aside from the one that's close to the entrance to what was it called again? God, Sunny Shore! Why am I forgetting the names of cities now? Aside from the one that's near the entrance to Sunny Shore, we got a lot of fishermen and tubers that are on the beach. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get out of here, and after that I'm going to put Yuxi in the lead, because now that I have an electric attack on my team, sorry I kept messing up the buttons, it's this one, okay? So anyway, now that I've got an electric attack on my team, I can destroy those Gyaradoses no problem. And let me tell you, those fishermen have tons of Gyaradoses. This is heaven for whoever has an electric attack if you want to grind them. So as you can imagine, once I'm fully done with this area, I'm going to bring my Yuxi here and grind until it's about, I don't know how quickly my experience is going to grow with that. But in the mid-50s would be really awesome, so that I could focus more on Giratina instead of having to, waste levels. Well, not exactly waste levels, but it's sort of hard to explain. But I want to be able to focus more on Giratina by giving Yuxi some free, easy experience. Oh, and by the way, in the last video, I got a comment asking me if using something like Hypnosis or Sleep Powder would have worked better on Azelf to bypass Uproar. And I just wanted to cover this, since Uproar is a move that, I don't recall ever seeing it used competitively, and even in game it sort of sucks because it's just like 50 power and it's a normal type move. So yeah, the thing about Uproar is that it basically grants immunity to sleep for 2 to 5 turns on all Pokemon on the field. So yeah, that's why I couldn't do it, because let's say, for example, that I use Hypnosis and Sleep Powder on the first turn. Well, it may not work because Azelf decided to use Uproar first, and even when it wakes up, it always pretty much gets a free turn unless you're slower and you can predict that it's actually going to wake up, which I sort of don't recommend. I'd suggest that you use another Dusk Ball instead while it's still sleeping. Anyway, yeah, on that turn, when it wakes up, it can use Uproar again, so then you're stuck for several turns not being able to put it to sleep, so it's still a waste of effort to try and do that. So in a nutshell, that's basically why I decided to not even bother with Sleep, especially with Yawn, because not only using Uproar on the turn where I used Yawn would have cancelled it out completely, but also using it on the turn after, right before falling asleep. So, yeah, at least it doesn't matter, I caught Azelf anyway. I really, honestly did not expect it to be so easy. I thought it would be a lot more difficult to catch than Yuxi, but it took, 6 minutes? So, and I didn't even put it into the red at that, so yeah, I'm glad that happened. Now we can put it behind us and look forward to having to catch 5 runners in the post-game. Yeah, but I'm not too worried there. Some people suggested that I should have used my Master Ball on one of those runners instead, or maybe use Hypnosis Mean Look combo or something like that. And personally, I prefer when my team isn't getting pounded on by a runner, especially since I'm going to have to raise a new Pokemon from the ground up for the sole purpose of catching them. So that's why I'm going to go for them the old-fashioned way. But that's enough of that. That's going to be all for today. Next time, we're going to hopefully finish Route 222 and enter Sunny Shore.